Ignore my cats, I'm gonna try and speak as loud as possible. It's actually quite late in the night. So, for all the people who say that minors debut more and adults debut less, look at Ensign. Ensign's oldest member is 1997, I believe so, and their youngest member is a 2003 liner. This is one group out of many that have adults in them. For y'all to say minors debut more and adults debut less and spread this lie simply because y'all never did or do any research is quite funny to me. Y'all look at the most popular groups or the most popular survival shows and then y'all run off those bases. Like if you look at New Jeans, IVE, Le Seraphim, Baby Monster, groups like these, New Jeans and Le Seraphim, they come from Hybe, and New Jeans comes from Hybe's sub-label Adore. Le Seraphim comes from Hybe with a partnership with Source. I don't know exactly. And Baby Monsters comes from YG, the big three, and I comes from Starship, a well-known company for popular groups like Monster X and Sister, etc. Right? And y'all look at these four groups plus maybe one two more popular groups, and then you'll look at groups coming from popular survival shows and stuff like that, and then you'll run with the idea that minors are debuting more and adults debut less, or you'll basically just look at the small few super popular groups, and then you'll run with certain ideas in K-pop that are actually false that I've debunked. Y'all don't actually want to do research on the many groups that debut in the industry. K-pop is not only New Jeans, IVE, Le Seraphim, G-Idol, Monster X, BTS, Blackpink, NMIX, ITZY, Stacy, Triple S, etc. K-pop is not only these handful of popular known groups that you'll know about. There's so many different groups that debut each year that you all do not know about, and you all can simply just go to their K profiles and see for yourself for anything that you spread on your channels. Like for adults debuting lesser than minors, that is completely dumb. I made a video called "Who Debuts More, Adults versus Minors?" And I added the adult section, the close to adult section, meaning they had one more year to turn it into adults, because some groups had members who were 18 years old, and then the next year they turned 19, which is the legal age in Korea, and the third one is the minor category. So basically the adults, groups with all adults, the close to adults where the members were 18, some members were 18 and they had to turn 19 for them to be legal adults, because the legal age in Korea is 19, and the minor section where the groups had maybe mostly minors or one or two minors. And in that video I did 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, and for all 4 years adults won in comparison. Then second place came to minors and third place came to the close to adults. And calculating all the years combined, adults won. So adults debut more than minors. And even if you look at the close to adult groups also, currently they must all be, or mostly all of them must be adults, adding more to the adult category of adults debuting more than minors in the industry. You all cannot just say something and your evidence about it is just these 3 4 groups from popular companies and maybe one or two groups that have come from survival shows that are getting noticed by people. That is not only the K-pop industry. There's so many groups that debut with different budgets that you don't know about. If you look at the Nubu side of K-pop or the unpopular side of K-pop, there are groups like Queen's Eye, Nine Eye, Amos, Blanky 2Y, who are now rebranding into DVOL, Makka Makka, and I'm naming the promoting groups at the moment. Chic Angel, they are a third gen group, they still promote. They haven't released any music yet, but they still promote. Puzzle, One Chu, who is a subunit of Hey Girls, but Hey Girls disbanded. And now One Chu is the main group. Then there is hashtag, who I believe still promote. There is ICU, there is Girls World, there is We Say, a pre-debut group, there's DIOS, TMC, a pre-debut group, there is E-Shine, who debuted, and there is WHIB, there is Ensign. Ensign are popular, so I don't really know. Ensign, I believe, are popular, so I don't really know if they fall under the Nugu and popular category. Then there is Makka Makka, there is Floria, there is, who else is there? Who else is Disney? There is Smuddy, there is Fairies, there is Blank, there is plenty more groups, Bunny Tea. There is other groups that I cannot think of at the top of my head that have all debuted. And a lot of these groups that have debuted, you can search up easily on K-pop Wiki. You can check their K profiles. Not a lot of not every single group will have a K profiles, but there are lots of groups that have K profiles, and a lot of them have the ages listed and stuff, so you can see for yourself who are adults, who are not adults. Some group K profiles have question marks on the ages or just show the year, a month they were born in, like March 22nd, January 15th, etc., and they don't show the year. But there are lots of groups that have the years listed in them, and you can see for yourself that there are lots of adults in the industry, and adults overtake minors in debuts. So y'all cannot say that minors debut more when your evidence is just looking at the popular side of K-pop, and that also a couple of few groups that are popular and well known. Y'all saying minors are debuting more is invalid. For y'all to be concerned that, oh, minors are debuting, minors shouldn't debut because this and this, the dark side of the industry, this and that is fine. But for y'all to claim that minors debut more than um, adults is actually dumb. I will only accept the y'all talking about minors is when y'all are concerned about the minors' safety, because the dark side of the industry, diets, getting hate from people, and this and that, and busy schedules, overworking, and stuff like that. That I can accept. But for y'all to claim that minors debut more than adults is dumb, because K-pop is not made of just popular groups. Nugu and unpopular groups exist too, and they also make up K-pop. They are still K-pop, regardless of if people know them or no. They are still K-pop. So y'all cannot dismiss these groups' existence just so y'all could try to spread lies and misinformation on your channels, when y'all are quite literally spreading misinformation on your channels. The reason I know that a lot of things that K-pop fans say are not true and I don't spread it further is because I like to check up and see first to see if it's actually true. I know so many groups, and I know it becomes a task for me and becomes a quite tiring to check up on these groups to see if it whatever K-pop stands on K-pop YouTube and stuff like that spread, if they're true or not. But from my knowledge of different groups, I know that certain things are not true. Plus, I do these researches, making these debunking videos just so that I can share it with y'all, because nobody else is gonna do it. Everyone is too busy spreading the misinformation rather than trying to fight the misinformation. I try to fight the misinformation by sharing different groups and songs to show you that the misinformation is misinformation and it's not actually the truth. Because lots of K-pop stans are too busy spreading the misinformation further, getting the misinformation to new places, rather than one channel in between trying to break the misinformation by saying, no, this is not true, this could be fake, here's proof. No. If one K-pop stan says minors debut more than adults, then the second KTuber will take it and say it, the third KTuber will take it and say it, the fourth KTuber will take it and say it, and then many people will continue spreading the misinformation, rather than one KTuber in between being like, no, this could be false, this could be fake, this is potentially misinformation, and here is evidence to show you that this might be misinformation. Nobody is doing that. That's why I make it to do that, and that's why I have a bunch of debunking videos on certain topics on my channel, where I share different songs, different groups and stuff like that, just to show you that this is misinformation, because nobody else is actually doing it to like be like, no, this is actually misinformation, this could be fake. No, people are just continuing to spread the misinformation further because they'd rather spread more lies and actually try and spread the truth. I do it because I want to show you guys that the truth is actually this and not whatever y'all claim on your channels, because Nugu and unpopular groups are Nugu and unpopular, but at the end of the day they are still K-pop groups, they are still groups that exist. So y'all need to look up these groups and check them out to see that your misinformation is misinformation, because these Nugu and unpopular groups hold the answers to everything. You're looking at 5 to 6 or 4 to 5 popular groups or well-known groups does not make your claim true, because a lots of groups have debuted and still debut each year. Like for my 2023 ranking, which I'm doing, I got 400 plus groups for all genres of Korean music. Imagine how many of them are K-pop and how many of them have debuted in the K-pop industry with or without MV, from a big budgeted company, small budgeted company, medium budgeted company. Imagine, there are quite a bit of them that I know from the list that are K-pop. So for y'all to say that certain things and try to claim it as true when y'all are looking at 4 to 5 groups out of possible 100 or 200 groups that have debuted in a year, or maybe 50 groups, is actually quite dumb, to be honest. And y'all need to stop saying misinformations on your channels when it's actually misinformation, because five groups cannot speak for the whole of the K-pop industry that are debuting groups left and right from bigger, smaller and medium-sized budget companies, and only like a small, very few small handful of groups get popularity. Either they are from the big three, Hype, or they're from a company that like Starship or FNC or something where they get automatic popularity, or maybe from a company acquired by Hype. Or number two, they go viral, like how 50/50 went viral and then all of a sudden randomly Brave Girls went viral. Or they release a song like how Momoland released Boom Boom and then they got shot to ultimate popularity and stuff, and then people notice them like that. So there are many factors that can make a group popular, but lots of groups debut, and lots of groups stay no go, they disband after debut, they disband after maybe like a comeback or so, or they stay on for long but nobody knows they exist. Many people don't know these Nugu groups exist, and yet people claim that certain things are true when in fact they only